My name is Graham Richard, and I served as mayor of the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Indiana's second largest city, from January 2000 until January of 2008. And I'm here sharing ideas about our wired and inspired the use of big broadband to provide better services for our city. And I'm discussing with a team of folks here what might happen in the western part of Massachusetts, and my belief that in addition to having a good wireless system, that it's very important for the job retention, job development, and economic growth of a city to have a fiber to the home system as well. Well, let me give you again, we're short on deep analytics, but I do feel that the anecdotal evidence and the survey evidence, Ed, is very valuable. Two things. One, Raytheon announced adding, a company familiar because of its headquarters in this area, 200 jobs in Fort Wayne in 2006. And with the governor, Mitch Daniels, there, and as the mayor, I was there, they said the mayor's Broadband Innovation Initiative is the second most important reason. The first is the availability of a skilled workforce, the talent that we need, and the second is availability of high-speed broadband. Then in our surveys, where we survey site selection specialists, we survey people, Ed, that are going to invest in Fort Wayne, so the CEOs of companies. In 2000, we started those surveys through our new collaborative economic development organization. And availability of high-speed broadband was not listed in the top 20 criteria, and nobody volunteered that that was important. By 2007, it was the second, third, and always in the top 5 reason for why I would invest in my business in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So those are some anecdotes and some data that say to us that our strategy of economic growth through being wired and inspired was a strategy that was paying off. Let me give you an anecdotal example of why I think small communities without fiber optic systems will lose. One is a community in our state that had no fiber optic system. They had a DSL as the basic home-based broadband capability by one of the incumbent providers. A company from Germany wanted to supply the Cummins Engine Corporation, came to the community and made an assumption that they had a more robust broadband capability. And within the first half hour, upon determining that, packed his bags and left. Just said, well, we can't consider putting this plant here, this supplier. Second example, after giving a keynote address to about 350 people at the Broadband Summit in Missouri, where Governor Jay Nixon hosted teams from 19 different regions, and they won a substantial amount of the ARA funding, the American Recovery Act funding, about $300 million, matched by $200 million of additional money from public and private sources locally. Then I was asked to make a presentation as the keynoter following his presentation. About 3 weeks later, I got a call from a young man who was in a community of less than 5,000 people in a rural area bordering Oklahoma, Kansas, and western Missouri. And he said, we're unique because we have a planning district that includes all 3 states. Unlike the 19 districts that are within the state of Missouri, we've got a different kind of challenge because of our regional economic development strategy. And he said, I'd like you to come out at our annual meeting in April because we need to get the message of what you were sharing. And I said, why are you seem to be more urgent in his sort of laid back, Missouri laconic way. He said, we have an Indian reservation in Oklahoma that has built out a fiber to the home system. And it's interesting, almost every out-of-community visitor that we get to invest in a new plant or business focuses their attention like a laser on that community. And we kept saying, well, why, there's the culture, what's going on here? Why has this happened? And then they surveyed those folks, and they said, it's the availability of high-speed broadband. It's the only place that's got the fiber. And so, that we want to locate in your general region. We can locate in Missouri, we can locate in Kansas, we can locate, but we're going to locate near this Indian reservation because we want that broadband. What we found is that if you've got a fiber to the home system and you're a home-based business, that, and again, cause and effects has to be proven here, but it appears that there's a causal effect, that you have between $20,000 and $30,000 more revenue per year is coming into a home-based business by self-identification of the home-based business owner when they have high-speed broadband availability through a fiber optic system. So if you aggregate that within a community, you begin to see a very substantial economic multiplier effect in just the one area of home-based business ownership.